What's up, Sword family? Welcome to the Teahouse. Tonight is our third week in a row where we discuss warriors from different Asian cultures. Tonight we are discussing the Mongols. Now, why did we pick the Mongols? Well, yesterday was the official release of The Who's third studio album. I own every single album. This is the first one I actually have a physical copy of. The other two I only got digital, but I pre-ordered that, came in yesterday. And I found out earlier this week that this is the 10-year anniversary of The Who. They have been a band for, well, they've probably been a band for longer than 10 years, but their first album came out 10 years ago this year. Holy hell. So, we discussed the Mongols today. Next Saturday, will be the triumphant return of Tea Time, and we will have the amazing, brilliant, erudite Trelena Bachman coming back for a third time because, well, I just really enjoy talking to her about martial arts. And this time, it's going to be completely off the cuff. There's going to be no pre-written questions, not going to be anything discussed beforehand. We're just going to turn the camera on and just go, and we'll see where it leads us. I have no idea. We're just going to talk. Like, just pretend the cameras are not even here, and we're just going to go. Quick reminder, there will not be a game stream on that next Monday. That'll be August 3rd, because we will be going up north yet again for more testing for Foxy's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I still have trouble pronouncing that one, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. So I want to pose a question to the audience because Carl has already given his opinion that I deserve a vacation. So do we want to just take that week off, or I can try to do a stream possibly on Tuesday? I wouldn't be able to do it on Wednesday because Creative's a play. And Thursday, I'll be driving back up north yet again to pick up my parents from the airport. So, and then Friday, well, we have the green room and all those other things. So the reason that I picked Monday is it was literally the only day of the week that didn't really have anything else going on. And it was a day that I usually had off from work. So I can either just take that week off and we'll come back on the 10th, or I can try and do it Tuesday evening. So let me know what you guys think, because I really enjoy my game streams. I love Jade Empire. It's been one of my favorite games. Well, one of my favorite Asian-inspired games pretty much since it came out. There's been other games. Nine Dragons obviously came out a decade or so later. I tried a game called Age of Wulin. I hated it. There's been games since that I can't play, like Black Myth Wukong. I can't play that. My computer won't run it. So I really enjoyed playing Jade Empire for everyone. And there's still a few days worth of content left to go. You know, we'll go through the Necropolis. here in a couple of days. That alone might take the entire 3 hours. Then there'll be the Lotus Assassin Fortress. And after that, well, I can't really say much because spoilers, but there's at least maybe a month worth of more content, at least 4 more episodes after this Monday. And then, just like we did with Nine Dragons, well, we'll start over. And we'll play an evil character. And you guys will get the privilege of getting to see me struggle to be an asshole. Because, like we heard when Smiling Mountain was describing the 2 different paths to us, the way of the closed fist is not necessarily evil, and open palm is not necessarily good. Closed fist people are just kind of assholes. You know, the example that Smiling Mountain gave us is, you know, you see someone drowning. You see someone drowning in a lake. An evil person would just leave and let them drown, just walk past. That's not closed fist. That's being disconnected from the world. The closed fist person might refuse to help them because they need to show that they're strong enough to help themselves. That's not the same thing. So once we finish with our current character, we get to play a closed fist character, and you get to see me struggle to be a dick. You get to see me struggle to try and turn Dawnstar closed fist, because I've already mentioned that if you want to romance a character in the game and they are of the opposite alignment than you are, you kind of have to pull them more towards your side. And if you can't do that, you can't romance them. And Dawnstar is 100% open palm. She is like up here. Now, there is a part of the game late in the game, like late in the game, where you can completely switch your alignment because of one decision. You can go from completely open palm to completely closed fist, or vice versa, because of one decision late in the game. When we get to that point, I plan on showing everyone, but it's an interesting switch where you can be open palm throughout the entirety of the game until you get to that spot. And then you make this one decision and it flips the switch. I think it's kind of cool. But when it comes to me playing, you know, closed fist characters, or if I was playing Knights of the Old Republic, a dark side character, all I have to say is this.
Oh no! My mental health is broken!
Yeah. But that's for, you know, later. We have a few comments to get through, and I would really like to see what people's opinion is on that, you know, that week of the first full week of August. So let's go ahead and run through our comments, and then we'll get started on the actual topic tonight. And Monday, the 27th, the same day that I will be doing my game stream, is Donnie Yen's birthday. So there will be another movie tier list coming out on Monday. And Donnie will be turning 63. And he doesn't have as many movies as Jackie, but it's pretty close to the amount of movies that Jet has. So keep an eye out for that on Monday. And first to the door at 4:35 this evening is our Foxy. Welcome to the Teahouse. Join us this evening as we discuss the legendary Mongol warriors and the connection between Mongol culture and music. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, please do. And Dan joins us at 5:20. Good evening, Dan, and evening, Dan from Foxy. And Donna joins us. Greeting, Foxy and Dan. Hello, Donna. I know I keep saying this, and this is going to mean very, very little to possibly perhaps the younger portions of our audience, which there aren't many of, but every single time I struggle to not sing the Richie Valens song, Donna, every single time. And one of these days, I'm going to let the intrusive thoughts win, and I'm going to get canceled because my voice sucks. Did get those decongestions. Oh, shoot. I don't remember. Did Foxy recommend decongestants? Try them tomorrow. Yeah, I probably should have taken some earlier today. I don't know what the hell it was. Something in the air. But my nose was just dripping. I was sneezing. Just a full-on, the kind of stuff that usually happens to me during the change of seasons. In the fall and the spring was happening to me earlier today. I took a nap a little while ago. I feel fine. And Foxy greeting Donna. Okay, so it was Foxy. Okay, cool. Nice. I hope they work well for you. Me too, yeah. Decongestions can be lifesavers. No kidding. And Carl joining us. Hello, Carl. Really can be. Greetings to Carl. Greetings to the Witchman dude. And Kitty with her very excited hi. Hello, kitten. And hi, everyone. And greetings to Kitty. And greetings to Kitty. Kitty loves The Who. Yes, I'm fully aware. You do like Bloodywood more, which I don't know if I could actually pick one. Between Indian metal, Indian folk metal, and Mongolian folk metal, I don't know if I can pick one. I have, I think Bloodywood is working on another album. I might possibly have heard that somewhere. An afternoon, everyone from Ruby. Hello, Ruby. Greetings to Ruby, and greetings to Kitty and Ruby, and greetings to Ruby, and greetings to me. And greetings to me. And here we go. Yeah, right at 5:30. Good job. What's up, Sword People from Midnight? How's it going, Midnight? And greetings to Midnight. And Midnight agrees The Who are pretty awesome. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Greetings to Midnight. Greetings to Midnight. The Who are great. Yes. Dan says take the week off. Okay. Good with whatever you decide. Yeah. Monday will be a long day. We have to be at a hospital about 2 hours away at 9:15 in the morning. So that morning's going to suck. That week sounds busy, so we understand if you want to take it off. Okay. Yeah. Struggling Assholes would be a good band name. Yeah. Close fist, that is their fate, yeah. Update folks after I know more. Uh-oh. Ask me about the new solar panel banks and soup at o'clock tonight. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound very that's ominous. Okay. Mongol warriors. Again, they were in season 2 of Deadliest Warrior. They went up against the Comanches and they lost. But I don't think they gave them the best weapons for that particular, battle. But the Mongols, led by Chinggis Khan, and that is the proper pronunciation of it. It's not Genghis Khan. They forged the largest contiguous empire in history. They are well known, very well known, for their horsemanship and their archery. So before you had, the cavalry, the Mongols were the cavalry. The bow that I have, when I did the show on Chinese archery, that bow is basically a Mongol bow, only longer. Horse bows had to be shorter because you're firing them on horseback. So you want something that is more compact, so you're not like stabbing your horse in the head every time you try and fire an arrow. They also were well known for hit and run tactics and psychological warfare. This is the thing that we talked about before. This is the issue with Deadliest Warrior just pitting weapon against weapon and then basing their computer program off of that test. You were not testing tactics. The Mongols were not the kind of people that would just stand there and fire arrows at you. They would get on their horses, ride past you, fire at you while they were riding, and then ride away. And the psychological factor is very, very important. The success of the Mongol army is said to be because of their very, very strict discipline, their speed because of their horses, and their strategic tactics. This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about these warriors, is they were very strategic. These warriors, because it wasn't just men, it was mostly men, it was a lot of men, but it wasn't just men. They could gallop towards you at full speed on a horse, ride past you. So here you have someone riding at you, and you think, oh shit, they're riding straight towards you. You can see the arrows on their back. You can see the bow in the quiver, or the bow could even be pointed at you. And you're like, oh shit, I'm going to die. They ride past you, then turn around and fire backwards. This is something known as the Parthian shot, firing backwards off a horse. That would, because they'd ride past you and you'd go, okay, I'm fine, and then you get shot in the back. That would mess with people's heads. Mongol warriors were trained from childhood to ride horses. Plus, you have to keep in mind that the weather of Mongolia is insane. It is freezing cold. There are very few places in Mongolia that aren't mountainous regions and cold as hell. So if you can live, just like we were talking about with the Rajput, if you can live in a place like Tibet, where the altitude is so high that your lungs have to work harder to survive there, if you can live in a place like Mongolia, where it can get to like 60 below, you're probably a pretty hardy individual. This is not like a place where you could just drop somebody off and they'd be fine. Oh, solar panels are good news. Okay, good. Yep, good. Sarah! What's up, Sarah? Greetings and greetings. Hey, fam. What's up, Sarah? It's good to see you. Hey, Dark Mistress. Long time no speak, Dark. Yeah. Days mesh together. I bet they do, especially for you. Greetings to Sarah and Dark Pope and freaking love you guys and me, yes. So you have little children being trained to ride 100-pound horses, being trained in archery. In some cases, before they're even able to walk, they're already on a horse. They already have a bow in their hand. Then you have the equipment. They have the lightweight lamellar armor, the same kind of armor that you see in China, with the overlapping small pieces of leather or steel. And then they have the bow, the war bow, the Mongol bow, with draw weights up to probably close to 200 pounds. Now, you have to keep in mind, especially when it comes to a bow, the draw weight is literally the amount of pressure that you have to put on the string to pull it back. This is why, and this might piss off some people, but if it does, this is my opinion, argue with me. This is why I hate modern bows. Because if you have a modern compound bow that says it's 100-pound draw, it's not. It's not 100 pounds. Because with those pulleys that you have on either end, taking some of the weight off, it's not 100-pound bow. And then you add stupid shit like the little triggers that they have and sights. It's more technology than it is skill. When I take my bow out, which I don't do very often, and I really, really should, but our local archery range is no longer an archery range. So when I take my bow out, if I miss a shot, that's on me. I missed the shot. It's my mistake. If a compound bow misses the shot, oh, well, maybe my little release trigger stuck and it didn't release in time. Maybe my sight is off. Maybe the pulleys are unaligned in some way. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. I hate compound bows. I hate them. That's not skill. That's technology. It's the same reason I don't like guns. It's not skill. It's technology. If you have a 160-pound composite bow, a Mongol bow, when you pull that, it takes 160 pounds to pull that string back. And you have to be able to actually pull 160 pounds to get that string to an operating length. My bows, I have a 50-pound recurve, and I have a 35-pound Chinese bow. When I pull those strings, that's the amount of weight I'm pulling. I am pulling 50 pounds. I am pulling 40 pounds. I'm not even a big fan of my modern recurve because it has an arrow rest on it. You know, it has that little notch taken out where the arrow can sit. With my Chinese bow, I have to rest that sucker right on my finger. It has to sit right here. Mongols, their archery is world class. These people are doing it on horseback, while riding. Everything they do is like top of their class. Oh, look, we have a Twitch bot. This is great. And yes, a month is like one day. Yeah. String cuts in the hand without gloves. That depends on how you're pulling it. You know, if you're doing the Mediterranean draw, which is like split finger, you know, you can have one upper or two upper and one lower. If you're pulling it this way, yeah, you're putting 160 pounds of pressure between these three fingers. But if you're doing a thumb draw, your thumb, if you're using a thumb ring, your thumb's not actually touching the string. So, scale armor, even wax dipped leather can be pretty damn good. Metal scale is even better. Yeah, heavier. Get more injuries on the upper arm. Yeah, that too. Now, you also have to keep in mind the tactics of the Mongolian warriors. The generals of the Mongolian army, including Genghis Khan, they used spies, they used fake retreats, they used psychological terror, not to mention that they were a highly organized army that was constantly mobile. They didn't just have one horse. Most Mongol warriors had multiple horses. So a Mongolian army could ride for 100 miles in a day. So you ride one horse until that horse gets tired, you get on your other mount, then you ride that horse, then you get on the next mount and you ride that horse. 100 miles in a day. With modern cars, 100 miles is nothing. 100 miles is like an hour and a half, depending on traffic. With a horse, riding 100 miles in one day, especially when you have harsh conditions like they have in Mongolia, that's insane. Now, obviously, they have more than just the bow. But that is the most well-known weapon of the Mongol army. They also had crossbows, but just like with the samurai, actually, here's the difference. The samurai, their main battlefield weapon was not the katana. That was a sidearm. That was a secondary weapon. Their main weapon was a bow or a spear. But most people know the samurai for the katana. The Mongol, the weapon they're most known for, was their main weapon. Was the composite bow. Composite bows are horn, sinew, and wood. That's what composite means. It's made of composite parts. They usually had at least 3 or 4 horses, and their quivers could contain up to 60 arrows. So try and imagine a large force, let's even say 100 Mongol archers with 60 arrows apiece. Plus, they carried 2 to 3 bows. They would have one for horseback, and then they would have a larger, heavier one for when they dismounted the horse. They carried files with them to sharpen their arrowheads. They would harden their arrowheads by heating them, usually on a fire, and then dipping them in brine. So they were quenching their arrows, possibly even long before this technology had even existed in Europe. Mongol archers could easily fire an arrow over 200 meters, which is over 600 feet. They were well known to be able to hit targets at a range of 175 meters. And that was usually the tactical distance for the light cavalry. They would maintain that distance the best they could. So you could have Mongol cavalry be almost 600 feet from you and still be just plucking away at you. You're not going to get close enough to that wall of arrows to be able to actually, melee fight these people. Ballistic archers could hit enemy units up to 400 meters. That's over 1,000 feet. And they would use this to surprise and scare the enemy troops and the enemy horses before they actually started an attack. They would fire from 400 meters away, scare the enemy, and then charge at them. This is part of that psychological terror we talked about. When Mongolia took over China, because you remember, the Mongols took over China for part of Chinese history. We talked about this when I was doing the Chinese dynasties. The Chinese people, the Chinese government, made Mongolian archery illegal. After the Chinese took back over the country from the Mongolians, the Chinese government in the Qing Dynasty made Mongolian archery illegal. That's how good the Mongol archers were. The Chinese made it illegal, and their tradition of bow making was completely lost because they could not make their bows anymore. The current tradition only reemerged in the early 1920s, and they're based on Chinese Manchu bows, which are different from the traditional Mongolian bows. Also, the mounted archery fell into disuse and has only been recently revived. Their crossbow was probably acquired from the Chinese, but they were rarely used. They did use siege machines, including, and I have to bring up this picture because Todd from Todd's Workshop actually built one of these. This is a Chinese siege engine. So I have to bring this up. This is impressive, especially, I think it's impressive. This is a Chinese siege engine. I know we're supposed to be talking about the Mongols, but the Mongols used one of these. It has 3 bows. This one facing back, and these 2 facing forward. So you have the combined draw weight of all 3 of these bows when it's at full draw. Todd actually built one of these, and Mongolian warriors used these siege engines. They used one of these. Probably several of them, actually. Arm fat likes to get bruised because my elbow turns in, yeah. At least now I know why my elbow decides to do that. And yeah. I bet it does. Not as bad as one well-endowed friend who hurt another part. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Done that too. Look into the eyes of life going instead of being behind a gun. Yep. Got that right. Being well-endowed in archery is dangerous. Yes, it is. Yes, Dan, they did have swords. It was a sword of saber. When they did the Mongol versus the Comanche on Deadliest War, they brought in a saber. It was called an Ild. I-L-D. Just have to know how to stand and hold your bow. Never got hurt that way when I was doing archery. It's true. My issue is how extra bendy I was, so being in proper stance is very difficult. Yep. Feel bad for the horses that get nailed and spooked. Yeah, that happens in war. Caltrops are definitely a nasty weapon if you like horses. Yes. Very skilled, really are. Oof, yep. Siege weapons, sir, you interest me strangely. Just wait. Wild. Okay, watch this. Because the Mongols did use one of these siege engines, I'm going to show you a short video of Todd firing the one that he made. I shared the video of him making and building these.
And loose.
Look at that. We have the back bow pointing towards the wielder. 2 in the front. Strings connecting the arms. I need to find the shot that made me. There he is showing the arrow that he's using. Look at the broadhead on that thing. Look at that ugly sucker. That is an armor-piercing kind of arrow right there. He added a pulley, which I'm not a big fan of, but look how much those are bent, the front ones compared to the back. He's literally using a oh God, what is that thing called? Damn it! My forgetting English again. He's basically using a wheel system. Because you're not going to pull these back with your hand. These front 2, I think, are 100-pound. This one's an 80-pound. You're not going to pull that back with your hand.
Exactly what we want. Okay, 260 grams. And loose.
Look at that slow motion. Ooh! Now, look where the arrow landed. Ow. That's just a little bit off from a man's worst nightmare. But look at what it did to the arrow.
That had a little shimmy on takeoff, so I wonder if it's got that sort of funny misalignment issue again. Without seeing it in slow-mo, I can't tell you. Well, very annoyingly, it did go in at a funny angle. And
it broke the arrow. It snapped the shaft of the arrow. That's how much power these siege engines could have. It broke the arrow. Now, I need to find the shot that really is impressive. I think it's towards the end. He has someone up there in ringmail, in armor. See, he's got ringmail with a shield.
It's 220 grams.
With a 220 gram
and
arrow.
loose.
Look at that. Into the shield, straight through the mail, and popped out the other side.
Oh, yes!
Just straight through, like a knife through butter.
So very cool indeed.
That guy is super dead.
So let's conclude this pimping session. We swapped out the 80-pound bow for a...
That guy is super duper dead. Hey, we have a new person. Oh, we have a Mongolian. Well, welcome. Met Native Americans in Canada who greeted me in Mongolian. Wow. Some said their grandparents told them they had Mongolian ancestors. Mongolians and Native Americans? By the way, welcome in, Mystery Junkie. Glad to see you here. Well, it is conceivable. Because we know that the land bridge that once upon a time connected Alaska to Asia, people walked across that. It is entirely possible that Canadian Native Americans could have Mongolian ancestry. That is a very good question. I'm glad to see someone in here who actually is Mongolian. Yes. Hello, new person. Welcome. Hey, mystery. It's definitely possible. Yeah, ouch is right. Dang, better luck next time. Yeah, better luck next time. And there were Mongolians that actually used these siege engines in battle. That guy had a bad day. He had a bad day. So now, we get to talk about the connection between Mongolia and music. Because when you live a nomadic life, music, especially in the past, music is a deep part of the culture. And this is when we kind of transfer into talking about The Who. These guys started their band to be able to bring that culture into the modern world through music. They're using traditional instruments in modern metal. Throat singing, the horsehead fiddle, all of these things become part of that culture. And now people are getting to see and experience that part. It's the same reason the Bloodywood does what they do. It's the same reason that the Last Successor uses traditional Chinese instruments in their music. They're trying to bring their culture into modern metal music. They play traditional instruments from their culture and play them, including modern guitars, modern metal arrangements with traditional instruments. The language in Mongolia, there's actually two separate ones. There's the older one, oh, hey, part Cherokee Mohawk. I also have Native American ancestry, so I think a lot of people, well, not a lot, but there are quite a few people here, in North America that have Native American. Hey, I did the like and share. It was like the second comment here. You were probably just not here yet. That is neat. So, yep, second comment up there. Did that before you got here. Foxy said it earlier. I did too read it. Yes, I did. Shame on me. Yeah, see, yes, I did. But yes, please like and share. Yes. I can say it again. Original tin type pick with one of my full-blooded Cherokee ancestors. Nice. If it survived, yeah. So this is the lyric book off the new Who album. And if you look, I don't know how you can see this, especially with the glare, but right here along the side, I think is older Mongolian script. It was written up and down instead of horizontal. It was written vertically. But there's the lyrics to one song in English and then in Cyrillic. Modern Mongolian, and hopefully our new Mongolian friend here can back me up on this. Modern Mongolian is Cyrillic. it's very closely related to Russia, to Russian, because Mongolia and Russia share a border. They're like right next to each other. So if you look at the other language here, it looks, come on, focus. It looks Cyrillic. It has Cyrillic lettering. It has the lyrics in English and in Cyrillic. I love that about these things. Bloodywood. I have to get that CD out. Oh, be quiet, Facebook. Or was that Discord? I'm not sure. This, get back in there, you. This is the lyric book for the first Bloodywood CD. And if you look at that, they did the same thing. I believe Bloodywood is Punjabi. There's the Punjabi written lyrics. There's English right next to each other. They did the same thing. I love that about folk metal. They put their language, even if I can't read it, even if I can't understand it, it's right next to each other. Learning a lot tonight. I hope so. Oh, we always learn a lot at the Teahouse. I really appreciate that, Dan. I do. Ooh, found a book at Goodwill that teaches Gaelic. Which one? Which Gaelic? There's Irish Gaelic. There's Scots Gaelic. I've been learning Scots Gaelic for a while, and it kicks my ass. Because I'm used to Asian languages. I started Korean earlier this month. You know, after we did that whole episode about the differences between written Korean and written Chinese, I started learning Korean. I picked up Korean pretty easily because I'm used to Mandarin. Other than, like I said during that episode, Korean is very glottal. It's in the back of your throat instead of with your tongue and your teeth. Gaelic kicks my ass. Because you can have... It's the pronunciation. It doesn't always click in my brain. But, oh, I do too. I absolutely love when they do that. I have in the bedroom my box of the Last Successor CD. It's the only CD that band has ever released. And I'm pretty sure the lyric book in that is only in Chinese. In fact, hey, babe, can you grab that for me for a second? It should be in the little cubby hole on the left side of next to the bed. Oh, absolutely couldn't resist it. Absolutely. I have a book on my bookshelf right here on 17th and 18th century art. I also got it from our local kind of Goodwill. Oh, well. Well, now. Hang on a second. We happen to be in bed with Sarah. Thank you, love. She's doing the innocent thing again, Carl. Yes, this is the Last Successor CD. This is a Chinese metal band that uses traditional Chinese instruments. This is the only CD that they've ever released. Comes in this nice little box. I love this thing. And here is your lyric book. Here on the back is your list of songs, all in Chinese. There's your lyrics, all in Chinese. Yeah. You remember when I was talking about the written Chinese language and how it's basically backwards from how we read English? How it's up, down, right to left instead of left, right, up, down? There's your title of your song. There's your first line. All the way over here is your last line. Yeah. But back to Mongolia. Yes, innocent foxy sighting, indeed. Regular price books can't. That one, yes, absolutely. Most of the books that we own actually came from a secondhand store. Too hot to wear clothing, I know. Ah, here we go. Modern Mongolia uses both Cyrillic and traditional script. Okay. Briefly experimented with a Latin alphabet in the early 1940s before adopting Cyrillic under Soviet influence of the communist state. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I didn't know that the traditional script was still a thing. I thought they stopped using that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. No, I speak Appalachian, but trying to render that into English spelling is difficult. Lots of Welsh, Scotland. Yeah, and try to. I know that you guys were talking in the green room last night about spell check on Google Docs and Microsoft Word and stuff. Try writing a book and you're throwing in words from other languages and spell check wants to correct you, especially when it auto corrects a word in another language or a word in a language that you made up. It's very annoying. And yes, that was very interesting. Yes, I really appreciate you being here, Mystery. I really do. Thank you. That was very cool. I did not know the traditional script was still being used in Mongolia. I really appreciate that. That is very, very cool. I had no idea. That's probably why. Get this back out. Yeah. Had to add words to my word dictionary. Absolutely. That's why in the lyric book, we have traditional script on the side over here. That's really cool. I have too, yep. When I add different words to the word dictionary, yep. Phone keeps learning new words. Done that. It's easier in a language spoken by aliens from outer space, I bet. I have a video. I was going to share it to Facebook. And I probably still will when we're done here. But I think I need to share it now. Since we're talking about, life in Mongolia and how things go and having to live in a harsh environment, I think I'm going to share this little YouTube short that I actually watched almost a week ago. I'll probably still share it to Facebook after I'm done here, but I want to share it here just so people can see. This is, look at that, negative 40 degrees Celsius. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Now watch this quick 1-minute video.
The true snow season has begun in Mongolia, and this morning the temperature dropped to minus 40 degrees Celsius, a stage where only those who understand the secrets of extreme cold can survive. In this harsh and unforgiving land, Mongolian travelers know that the greatest danger is not the cold alone, but the wolves that can track the faintest scent of meat from kilometers away. To protect his food supplies from this threat, this traveler devised a clever trick few would ever imagine. He brought a large bucket and filled it with water, then placed a smaller container in the center to create a hollow core. He left it outside all night and in the terrifying freezing temperatures, the bucket turned into a solid block of ice, hard as rock. At dawn, he returned with a kettle of hot water and carefully poured it around the sides until the ice mold separated easily. What he obtained was a hollow cylinder of ice, a natural refrigerator made by winter itself. He then widened the opening with a sharp tool, drained the remaining water, and placed inside it the pieces of fresh local meat he wanted to preserve. Once he sealed the ice refrigerator with an outer layer of ice and snow, it became completely protected. The secret is simple, but brilliant. This ice refrigerator emits no scent at all, meaning that no matter how hungry the wolves are, they cannot detect the meat's presence. Nomadic intelligence and a genius Mongolian survival trick, born in one of the most extreme environments on Earth.
Now, how cool was that? He made a refrigerator by just filling a bucket with water, filling a smaller bucket, sticking it inside. Oh, good night, Sarah. Love you too. So you're awesome, Sarah. Rest well, night. Yeah. Oh, -40 is where the two scales meet. Okay. I know, that was cool. Like I said, I think I watched that like a week ago. And I've been saving it just for this because we're talking about, But back to, The Who and Mongolian music. 10 years ago, they released their first album. And the very first song that most people ever heard was UAUAU. And to our new Mongolian friend, I'm sure I mispronounced that. I apologize. Mongolian is not my forte. But there is one part in that song that I find absolutely fascinating. The video alone. Foxy actually found this band before I did, and she showed it to me. And it was this song. And since then, every new album, every new song, I'm following The Who on YouTube. I watch everything. They did a Q&A last night for the album release. About a half hour. I watched the whole thing. They were part of a cooking competition. Well, not really a competition, but they and a group of Mongolian gamers came together and cooked food and ate traditional Mongolian food together. Watch that too. It's half an hour. There's a part in this video that I find fascinating because you have a guy playing the horsehead fiddle. It is a 2-string fiddle. And he's able to play a note in this song that sounds like a horse. It is incredible to me. Humans are very inventive. Yeah. Really cool, no pun intended. Yeah, maybe intended, yeah. Puns must be intended. They are fun. Yep. Now, I don't remember exactly where in the song that sound is. And I don't want to play the whole thing and get friggin' copyright struck again. I already have friggin' 2 of them from my long 3-hour season 1 finale. Gotta try and find it, though. I want to say it's after. I do not know. That's not it. That's not it either. Oh, please, YouTube. The entire video is most replayed. Knock it off. I think we're getting close. I can't find it. That annoys me. Ah, I think we're getting close. Right there. Right there. Yep. That's it. Back it up just a little bit. Right there. Yep, that's it. Well, I did it anyway. Watched a couple of videos of the Who in the kitchen. Yes, those are awesome. Ooh, okay. Please watch a short named Mongolian Camel Coaxing Ritual. Plus, the horsehead fiddle is made with 250 to 350 pieces. Yes. I will check that out. Thank you. I will check that out later. That is neat to know, yes. Oh, did you not hear it? Well, it is at 4:48 in the video. Thank you, Mystery. I will check that out after we're done here. I can probably do that, yeah. Share. Start at 4:47. Copy, yes. There we go. That should start right before it. And it literally sounds like a horse neigh. It's very cool. Let's see. And we also have a Mongolian throat singer who did a song. The link is probably safer. Yeah, you're right. They did a song with a Chinese woman. House I grew up in was old enough that the plaster in the walls was mixed with horsehairs. Yeah, there you go. But there you go. That should start right before it. There is a Chinese woman who is famous for playing the Chinese guitar, and she did a song called Victorious with a Mongolian throat singer who also did a cover of a Linkin Park song in the Mongolian throat singing style. Same here. Never did upgrade it. Well, that house is old as shit anyway. And this is probably not the smartest thing in the world, but Just a little bit. Just a little bit, because I love this song, and just damn. Nini Music and Kular. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the crap out of that, but let's find. She's playing a Chinese 3-string guitar. We talked about that back when we did our episode like a year ago. See, it's got 3 tuning pegs. It's got 3 strings.
Bring their pain, banners hide in their reign. Victorious can stop us. Unleash hell, my comrade.
And that's it. We're going to stop there. That is Mongolian throat singing. And if you don't know how to do that, don't try. You're going to hurt yourself. It's not as simple as you think. It's not as simple as just putting gravel in your voice. See, I can do this all day, and it doesn't really make any difference whatsoever. But this is not the same thing. There is a way to do it properly. If you don't know how to do it, don't do it. You will jack your voice up. And if you look right down here, she also did a song with one of the guys from Bloodywood. Look at that. There's also another Mongolian throat singing band similar to The Who. I don't think they're even around anymore. I think they disbanded or someone died. I don't have 15 years ago, 2 years. We'll just pop one in here real quick. Same kind of thing though, look. Horse head fiddle. Same kind of throat singing. Try learning how to call crows down. No, thank you. And yes, Bloodywood is absolutely amazing. I also have both of their albums. Like I said, I love folk metal for this specific reason. Because here are people from that culture that are trying to share their culture with the world. They want people to see their cultural heritage in a way that is palatable to modern audiences. There is a Scottish rock band, Scary Boar. Same thing. It is a traditional folk rock band. I love folk metal. Donna. If you can handle, I know metal is not everyone's thing. But this one, Meadows End, they're kind of a Viking metal band. I think you and Rich would both like these guys. Once again, we're going to just share a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. We're going to stop there. Yeah, I kind of figured. Do have exceptions. Like it, but also like other things. So do I. Like I said, Scary Vor is not metal. It's just rock. Miracle of Sound. Okay. I did not know that. It's called Meadows End, Non-Dreaming Eye. If Rich was here, I would absolutely suggest checking this song out. Just folk metal of any kind. I don't even have to understand what's going on. Rap and really screamy stuff. That's true for her. I'm fine with metalcore. I'm okay with some rap. It depends. Anytime that a culture not of my own. Oh, I'd have to check that one out too. Valhalla Calling Me. Okay, hold on. I'm going to write that down. Okay. Sounds interesting. I have the link, but maybe I'll share it on Facebook later. We'll see. But anything that brings a culture that's not my own, I will pay attention to. I even like Gangnam Style because you have K-pop. And K-pop, if nothing else, is the happiest music in the world. K-pop, you cannot help but like dance. It just makes people happy. I couldn't understand a damn word the first time I heard Gangnam Style. I couldn't understand a damn word when I first heard The Who. They didn't have subtitles on the video at first. They added them later. They added them themselves to make sure that the translation was proper. They added the subtitles. I couldn't understand them at first. Same thing with Bloodywood. I want to say they do Punjabi. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But music to me is a bridge between cultures. And just like that being a huge part of Mongolian culture, that's a huge part of my life. That's why The Who and Bloodywood and Last Successor and Meadows End and, I could just name, that Victorious. I love that song. And even though he's singing in English, he's still doing throat singing in English. Several versions of Valhalla. Oh, I will see if I can find it. Because there are there are quite a few. Original version, Peyton Parrish. I don't like Peyton Parrish, but whatever. So, hopefully, people have learned something today. And for our new Mongolian viewer, I very, very much appreciate you being here today. And I very, very much appreciate you sharing your culture with us. That was very, very cool. Hey, Dave, you're popping in just as I'm wrapping up. Very informative. Thank you, Carl. I really appreciate when people learn things. I will be back on Monday for my regular Jade Empire stream. And then I will be back next Saturday with Trey for part 3 of her tea time interviews. I hear a dog. Hey, buddy. Did you wake up? Come on up. Come close. Come on. There's the pupper. Garden of the Month. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try as much as I can to bring back tea time. I reached out to a few people last year in September, and I got several people saying that they would be willing to come on. So I might just try and reach back out to those people. Oh, appreciate it, Mystery. You also have a fantastic day. Yes, you too. I'm going to try and bring back tea time. Sifu Cuddle has agreed to come back for a second time. Yes, feel free anytime to come back. You are more than welcome. You've been very, very gracious and very cool. So, hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Come back. Join the Sword family. I was going to say that we're normal, but we're absolutely not. But you are more than welcome to come back. Absolutely. But going to try and bring back tea time. Once a month, as much as I can. I have one person that I very, very much want to be on tea time. And they're very, very difficult to get a hold of. We're weird, but we're on your side. Yes, absolutely hope to see you again. I really do. Come back on Monday. Watch me play video games. Trey's coming back. Sifu Cuddle can come back. I'll reach back out to those people I talked to last September, see if they want to come back. I really want to be able to, share martial arts with my sword family and with people that might not be aware of the people that I interview. So we are the fun kind of weird. This is true. Again, I know I've said this like a million times, but the whole reason that I started this channel was to be able to share my martial arts with the people at large and to bring those people into my circle. And you people, my sword family, you are my circle. So hopefully I'll be able to bring it back. If I can't do it every month, I'm going to do it as much as I can. But I will be back on Monday, be back on Saturday. I will see you guys next time. I appreciate everyone. I especially appreciate Mystery coming in to share their Mongolian heritage with us. I will see you all next time. Puppy sighting. 再见。